Buddy Nerdigans, this is the one and only Packer Girl 89, and today's Book Nerdigan discussion video is going to be on the first book of the Worldbucker series, Trial by Fire by Josephine Angelini. And this series is really interesting, and I'm really excited to see where Josephine takes it, because it has the multiverse theory going on, the multiverse theme, going on, which some of the other books that I have read have going on, and that fairy tale had going on for a little bit in the Daedalus arc. And so basically this multiverse, though, is a little bit different. So instead of having like gods or fairies, this one is just flat out witches. And it has an interesting take on history too, because this is the Salem witch trial. So instead of, back in the Salem witch trial days in colonial times, where witches were being persecuted, in this alternate universe, this is where science is outlawed and the witches are in charge. And what I think is interesting is the main character Lily is a big part in this, and it kind of reminds me of the main character in the Fairy Path series by Fremlin Jones, but the main difference is that she actually, the main character, Tania, which we'll get to when I review that series later this year when I'm on the Fairy Book Nerdigan marathon, or readathon. She was actually missing, and she was her own person. No, Lily has a version of herself in this other universe, and what her other self did was call to her in this when Lily was at her lowest, when her childhood friend turned best friend turned boyfriend Tristan, who was standing up for her because Lily was struggling through most of her life with this really bad illness, which actually turns out is because she is a crucible, which is pretty badass, actually. I'll get to that in a second. Lillian uses her mind speak to willingly get Lily sucked in to the other Salem universe. And Lillian, her intentions, as you get into the book later, are, her intentions are, I understand, because Lillian is spirit walked, which is what it's called, spirit walked into other universes, which she learned from a shaman. And she saw what, nuclear war did to some of the other universes, and because it destroyed society. So I kind of understand where she was going with it, but it just like totally caused her to lose her mind. And the teacher, instead of, using what she learned from those other universes to spread awareness and to, have the teachers of her society not use that science for good and to, spread awareness of it, she's just killing them. It's horrible in all reality. It's tyranny. She's literally executing these teachers. It's like this. I'm telling you, it's like the Salem witch trials. So basically, let me get back to what Lily is, what a crucible is. So basically, what a crucible is, as I mentioned, Lily's body hits 120 degrees Fahrenheit, which is insane, right? The human body, when you hit a human body hits 108 degrees, you're considered legally dead. Your body cannot survive that. But because what Lily's body does is, as a crucible, she heats things up and changes the chemical structures in sulfur or carbon or whatnot in her body to become different energies and forces, so she can change like different compounds into elixirs and stuff, which is pretty awesome. And we find out that her mom, who in her universe is insane, because she's like talking about like all these random things, and like she's seeing things. It turns out that she's actually seeing things in the alternate universe and other universes, which is really crazy if you think about it. So, and in this universe, it's kind of like fairy, and it's kind of like similar to Biore. Yes, I'm gonna be doing those references a lot in the series, where everyone can do magic versus the modern world where no one can, or in Fairy Tale's case, Edelus, where no one can do magic. And in this version of Salem, what people use are willstones. And the willstones are like a conduit, and it's like their soul is kind of attached to it. So basically, what Will did, or not Will, So what Rowan did for Lillian before he went rogue, in the sense, is he's respected by all the townspeople, by the way, and the natives who are considered rogue. What he did was he was Lillian's main healer, and he's trying to save Lily and try to get her home, and he doesn't. I don't think he really wants to now, because they fall in love in this book, and it's really sweet how they fall in love. And Lillian kind of knew that was gonna happen, which is kind of like Eisen type shit. I'm sorry, it totally is. But there's also, before I get into, how Wilsons are like conduits, I gotta say that there's like Hunger Games type stuff in here with, I can't remember, do I have it in my notes? Hold on. Do I have it in my notes what the creatures are called? Damn it, I don't have it. I thought I had it in here. Well, there's these type of creatures. Comment section, if you read Trial by Fire and know that it's been a couple of weeks since I've read Trial by Fire, so if you have recently read Trial by Fire and know the creatures that I'm referring to that are like mutts and have like humanoid features and stuff like that, please leave it in the comment section. But they were created to help like the farmers and with agriculture, and were genetically modified to do that kind of stuff, but went out of control, similar to the Hunger Games, but without the war feature. But so basically, when Rowan and this scene was intense, when Rowan and Lily were hiding out in this hut, and I just thought this was freaking insane what Lily did. So she willingly did support magic to help Rowan get stronger by touching his willstone. And at first Rowan wasn't going to let her do it, because he was worried that Lily was going to totally lose herself like Lillian, because Lillian's power hungry and they're kind of almost the same person. And she almost did, but Rowan, kind of pushed her back, which was intense, because as I mentioned, the willstone is kind of like their soul. So, she was able to give him extra strength, and he became totally badass. So basically, Lily is basically like the white mage. There we go. That's the correct word. Lily is the white mage, and the witches are kind of like the white mages in the sense of this book, if you really think about it, and with their armies and stuff, which ends up happening later in the book, when they battle against each other, which is insane, especially when both Lily and Lillian go on the pyre. And when they went on the pyre, I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but when they went on the pyre, I was thinking to myself, I was like, damn, this is weird, crazy, because when I was thinking about witches on the pyre and the Salem witch trials, I was thinking, wait a second, I'm curious, is that why they did that? When the Puritans or whoever in Salem, Massachusetts, is that why they did that? Because if they survived, they were a witch. I was thinking that. So because the pyre equals power and it equals a firewalker. I just thought that was really interesting. And so the main characters that, you know, she ends up Willstone powering with. And by the way, she ends up getting her own, you know, putting her own power into Willstones, Lily does. And she ends up doing three, because she has so much power in her, and they don't know why. And I hope Josephine explains it in the next two books, or however many. I think it's going to be a trilogy, but I'm not sure. She has three Willstones, and one's pink, one's gray, and one's yellow. And I think it represents the three types of magic, but I can't remember. And she ends up, you know, because she ends up sharing her power with Tristan and Caleb, and I forgot to mention Caleb. Caleb is really cool. The thing is with Caleb is the gay character in this book, and something that I admire about Caleb that really makes me happy is that Caleb is a gay character, but he's not afraid to say that to be gay. He's actually proud. He's not one of those people that's like saying I'm gay. He's just, you know, he just is proud of, you know, having his boyfriend who is Elias. And I was just thinking he's not like Nico, who's ashamed, or Nico or Alec, who are like ashamed of it in the beginning. It's like, no, he's just gay. He's like, whatever about it. And it was really sad when Lillian's army attacked them. I was so sad, and Elias was killed. I was like, no, you just met Elias. You had to kill him. Why? That pissed me off when Elias was killed. That part frustrated me. And we had traitors in this book with Esmeralda. I was not happy when we had her as a traitor. That really kind of frustrated me. But she did get what she deserved when she died. And when, but I thought was interesting though was how Lily learned to spirit walk, and how we found out why Lillian became such a tyrant. Because, you know, how I mentioned earlier that she spirit walked into a universe that was destroyed by nuclear energy. And it was interesting. And it turned out, and, you know, obviously she was rescued by Tristan, Rowan, and Caleb. And she kept saying, she said to them, as, you know, she was being rescued, she's like, we need to save the shaman. But the problem is, and they said, what are you talking about? That was just the skeleton. The shaman's dead. There was just a skeleton there. And that was just so freaking creepy. I was just like, oh my god, that was so creepy. Oh, wow. But, like, I know I probably am missing a lot. Is there anything else I really... Well... Gideon, I'm so glad that Gideon got what he deserved. And, oh yeah, the other thing I wanted to mention is that you can't, you can actually control someone's will, a witch can. You don't have, but you should let control through free will, or take some control of someone's will stone through free will. It's just the right thing to do. But there was a moment when Lily did control someone's free will stone through without free will, or forced it to. And I love the reaction. I can't remember the character's name, but she was really funny about it, because this was after she freed the teachers, because William was going to destroy it. And by the way, alternate version of Juliet, the alternate world's version of Juliet was pretty badass too, because she could mind speak with Lily, even though it was just an alternate version of her. And I just love what she said. She's like, if you try to force me to do anything again, I'm gonna kick your ass. I was like, yes. That was pretty awesome. I like that part a lot. And I really just liked how Lily just was like, what? She's like, you know what? I'm gonna free all these prisoners, and I'm just gonna share my power with everybody. I don't care. Or like that's just the right thing to do. I'm gonna just share my power with everyone, and if they're gonna fight with me, they're gonna fight with me. And if they don't want to fight with me, I'm just gonna let them go. They don't have to fight. And I just thought that was really admirable of her, and I like that in her character. Oh, and there was one more funny scene I gotta mention. So when they were hiding out in the woods and they needed to cut her hair to, because they were trying to sneak her into the village because Rowan's like her personal dietitian because Rowan, was Lillian's main healer. So and Lily was really a pain in the ass when she first moved because Lily's a vegan and she refused to eat meat to get the proper nutrients and stuff. And so Lily had to cut her hair because Lily has red, long hair. So Lily cut her hair and she was going to dye her hair black. And Rowan made the dye. And he had to pee in the dye. And, she's painting her hair to dye the hair. And Lily says, it smells, the hair, she's like, this smells like urine. And Rowan says, well, I had to pee in it, otherwise the dye wasn't going to sit in it. The chemicals in my urine are going to make the dye sit better. She's just like, what the hell? I have you pee in my... That part was funny. But, so at the end when, she's, how this ends basically reminds me of the Charm Return, the Charm, right before the Charm Return starts for Fremlin Jones. I gotta mention this too, because I can't believe I almost forgot about this part. This part's really important. So basically, so Lily's on the pyre. And Lillian's trying to get, Lily on her side to control this world and try to get her to control other worlds. And, as I said, Gideon got his just desserts. I didn't want to talk about Gideon too much because Gideon's an asshole. So basically, she's on the pyre and she's about to die. And Rowan comes in to try and Rowan is coming in to save her. And I guess it was like the power of their love or something. It was a combination of their power. Saved her from the pyre and just transported them through a portal. And I think the portal ended up taking them back to modern day Salem. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens through that portal, because I know in Charm Return, I'm sorry I'm spoiling this for you, but in Charm Return, Tania ends up losing her memory, but I can't remember the other guy's name at the moment. I think his name is Colin, but I cannot remember his name for the life of me right now. But he ends up staying behind in, I think it's called Fairy, but I don't remember. It's been like at least 2 years since I've read that series. But yeah, but I can't wait to see where Josephine is going with this. So I want to know what you guys thought, because no one reads books, the same books that I do. So please like, comment, share, and as usual, subscribe to my channel, because I really want to know what you guys thought of Trial by Fire, because I like this book a lot, and I'm excited to see where Josephine goes with this series. So until next time, book nerdigans, I will see you in the next video, which will be Wondrous Strange by Leslie Livingston. Until next time.